My name is Vikram Thapa, and today I will present my dissertation. The title is AI-driven marketing strategies and their influence on consumer perception, a case study of Amazon. This research explores how Amazon uses artificial intelligence technologies such as recommendation systems, targeted advertising, and consumer data analysis within digital marketing, and how these strategies influence consumer perception, trust, engagement, and privacy concerns. Throughout this presentation, I will discuss the research background, methodology, key findings, discussion, conclusion, and recommendation. Good morning. My dissertation examines how AI-driven marketing strategies influence consumer perception, especially within Amazon digital retail environment. I choose Amazon because it genuinely is one of the most AI intensive retailers in the world. Around 35% of its sales come directly from its recommendation engine alone. What really interested me was the tension between the personalization benefits consumer get and the privacy concern that come with it. That's the core what I explored in this study. My research question focuses on the relationship between AI-driven marketing and consumer perception, especially within Amazon. I set four objectives that build on each other, starting with a literature review, then looking at what Amazon actually does, then how consumers respond to it, and finally examining the trust and privacy side. I bounded the study to Amazon and secondary data because it's a rich enough case to draw meaningful insights from without needing to conduct primary research. In my literature review, I mainly focus on how AI-driven marketing has developed over time and how it influences consumer perception within digital retail environments like Amazon. The literature shows that AI marketing started from basic consumer databases and email targeting. But over time, it evolved into more advanced technologies such as recommendation systems, behavioral tracking, and personalized advertising. A major part of the literature focused on recommendation systems. Studies showed that personalized recommendation improve customer convenience, engagement, and product discovery. This is especially relevant to Amazon because recommendation systems are a central part of its business model. The another important area in the literature was targeted advertising and consumer behavior analysis. Researchers found that AI helps organizations deliver more relevant advertisements and personalized experiences. At the same time, many studies also highlighted growing concerns related to privacy, transparency, and consumer trust. Consumers often appreciate personalization, but they can also feel uncomfortable when they believe too much personal data is being collected or tracked online. Overall, the literature helped establish the foundation for my research and also showed a gap in the exciting studies, especially regarding balanced qualitative research focused, especially on Amazon. This is the gap my study fills. Most existing work is either too broad, looking at AI marketing generally, or too narrow on one aspect, usually the positive effects or the privacy concerns, but not both together. And very few studies focus on Amazon as a specific case. My research brings all of this together. A balanced, qualitative, Amazon focused analysis. That's the original contribution. For my methodology, I use Sanders Research Onion framework to structure the research process. I adapted an interpretism philosophy because this study focuses on consumer perception, which is subjective and based on personal experiences and opinions. I used a qualitative case study approach focusing especially on Amazon as it allowed me to explore the topic in more depth rather than collecting broad statistical data. The research was based on secondary sources such as academic journals, industry reports, and company publications. To analyze the data, I used thematic analysis to identify common patterns and themes related to AI-driven marketing, consumer engagement, trust, and privacy concerns. Since no primary data or participants were involved, the ethical risks of the study remained low. The first theme is personalized recommendation systems. The key statistic here is that around 35% of Amazon sales are driven by its AI recommendation engine. That's a huge number. What the literature shows is that consumers genuinely find these systems useful when they are relevant. They save time, help people discover products they might have missed, but there's also downside. When recommendations feel too aggressive or clearly based on very detailed tracking, they can feel intrusive. So even theme 1 hints that the tension between benefit and concern. Theme 2 is targeted advertising. Amazon's advertising platform is incredibly sophisticated. It uses purchase data, wish list, browsing behavior to serve personalized ads both on and off the Amazon website through its DSP platform. Consumers do respond positively when ads are genuinely relevant. They find products they were already looking for more efficiently, but the negative side is also significant. The many consumers feel followed when they see the same product advertised across multiple websites after viewing it on Amazon. This connect directly to Vlier and async-basis personalization paradox. Theme 3 is about how Amazon actually processes consumer data. The flow on this slide shows the journey: data collection, AI processing, personalized output, and then the consumer impact. Amazon collects enormous amount of behavioral data, not just what you buy, but how long you look at something, what you search for, what's in your wish list. This makes their recommendation increasingly accurate. The problem is that this level of data collection happens largely in the background, and many consumers aren't fully aware of the extent of it. Theme 4 is probably the most important from a practical standpoint. The findings show that consumers genuinely value personalization, but the moment they feel their data is being used without their knowledge or understanding, trust drops significantly. What's interesting is that GDPR has given consumers legal rights, but the awareness of those rights it is still low. The literature, particularly Puntuni at 2021, shows that transparency isn't just a nice to have, it's actually central to how consumers from the experience of AI driven marketing. This slide pulls all five themes together. The table here summarizes the dual nature of what I found. Every single theme has both a positive and a concerning side. Recommendation systems are convenient but potentially intrusive. Behavioral analysis improves relevance but raises constant questions. What this tells us overall is that AI-driven marketing is neither simply good nor bad for consumer perception. It depends entirely on how it's implemented, how transparent the organization is, and how much control consumers feel they have. In the discussion section, I connected the findings back to the academic literature and the original research question. Overall, the findings show that AI-driven marketing has both positive and negative effects on consumer perception within Amazon digital retail environment. On the positive side, recommendation systems and targeting advertising improve convenience, engagement, and product discovery for consumers. However, the findings also show growing concern related to privacy, behavioral tracking, and transparency. Many consumers appreciate personalization, but at the same time, they are uncomfortable with how much data is collected about them. The findings strongly support previous studies by authors such as Hong and Rust, Diveti et and Putoli et al., who also found that consumer trust plays a major role in AI-driven marketing. One research approach was the use of thematic analysis across multiple secondary sources, which helped identify clear patterns and themes. There were also limitations since the study focused only on Amazon and relied on secondary data. The findings may not fully apply to all organizations or industries. The research question was answered successfully, showing that AI-driven marketing influences consumer perception in both positive and negative ways, depending on transparency, relevance, and consumer trust. To conclude, my research found that AI-driven marketing strategies at Amazon produced genuinely mixed consumer perception. The positive side is real personalization, improves convenience, product discovery, and engagement. But the concerns are equally real. Consumers feel tracked, they lack control, and transparency is insufficient. My study contributes to the academic discussion by providing a balanced, qualitative, Amazon-specific perspective, something the existing literature was missing. The research question is answered. AI-driven marketing influences consumer perception in a dual conditional way. My main recommendations for management are practical and grounded in the findings. The most important one is transparency. Organizations like Amazon need to do better at explaining what data they collect and how it's used. The second is consumer control, making it genuinely easy for users to adjust their personalization preferences. For future research, I would really encourage primary data collection. Direct consumer interviews would add a level of depth that secondary data analysis can't fully achieve. And longitudinal studies would help track how perception evolve as AI become even more advanced. These are the key references cited throughout the presentation. The full reference list is available in the written dissertation. All sources follow Harvard referencing style as required by De Montfort University. Thank you very much for listening. I'm happy to take any question about my research, whether that's about the methodology, a specific finding, or the recommendation.